Right, so I'm April 25th. I play games and then I talk about it. Today I'm playing FortressCraft Evolved in another episode of my 2018 Explain Along. Check this out. I have basic minecarts. I'm kind of slowly trying to replace out the scrap freight carts. That's harder than it sounds, honestly. Like there's 8 carts here, but they're probably all scrap freight carts if it can't keep up. So I am finding opportunities to snipe carts, steal them out, stick them through the grinder, and this should spit out, hopefully, a new basics minecart. Though I also, every once in a while, need to keep going through here and looking for scrap freight carts to remove from the pool. That was nice. Got a bunch. So I've made about 100 basic minecarts, which is a lot. I was actually not even waiting so much on the basic minecarts and the alloyed blocks as I was waiting on the some other stuff, iron gears and stuff like that, copper wire, because I've been making a bunch of things for today's project. And while I was waiting on that, I just kept the minecarts going. And it's funny how once you get a couple of the big basic minecarts making alloyed blocks, they're just so much faster that after a couple of them are over there working, it just speeds up and you have more and more. So that's pretty thrilling. Let me do this one more time. I promise I won't keep doing it throughout. I do need to go around and probably give back carts in a couple places where I was trying to free up the spot so I could get rid of the scrap freight cart, but I'm gonna add back a basic minecart or basic freight cart. Okay, so today I have 2 plans, one boring, one kind of new and exciting. Let's do the boring one, which is I want to make sure I upgrade my smelter hats. So yeah, kind of boring. Ooh. And I kind of think I might have a smelter hat upgrade over in the recipes list, so let me double check that before I move on. Smelter hats, where are you? I wish that they had sorting on the research the way they do on the manufacturing plant. I think that would help a bit, maybe. Oh, then again, where do you put some things, right? Alloyed machine blocks. So we probably need this. Yeah, I'm thinking I probably don't have Mark III forced induction. Okay, so this calls for 1 Mark II. Mark II calls for 1 level 1. So this is going to be a whole thing. Let's see, 7 plus 7. Well, we only need 1 of each. So we can go down the list and just do, I'm going to do 10, I guess. In here, there's also already a lot being made, and that is forced induction for the fun and exciting project today. Today, I'm also going to be setting up some logistics falcor powered gun batteries and start attacking back on the wasps. I've got a lot going on, a lot of ore being smelted, a lot of power being used, so pretty much immediately those wasps, once I start killing them, are going to be joined by some big scary heavies, and I'll be back to needing missiles in order to keep my base from dying. But I might as well do the gun batteries. That opens up a whole new quite a number of other projects as well. I'm going to need to clean up those drops, which means a falcor network. There we go. And then I'm going to want to do the missiles later. Let's see. Falcor gun batteries. Let me make sure I have everything. I think I do. Yeah, I set up a bar. everything I'm going to need. So batteries, having good batteries is a great idea for this. So I went for Mark II batteries for now because I'm using all my alloyed blocks for mining sort of containers. But usually I would use Mark III, and I might come back later and replace. So the wasps come in from the corners. So the wasps will come in around right here, and then one in each of the corners. Each time it picks one kind of at random. Maybe there's an order, but I think it's at random. So you have to definitely defend all four sides. I'm thinking right about here for my closest one in. You always want one battery to be kind of close in because that's the best way I've found for doing this is to build a little thing, but then start taking it apart. You want it up close because they pretty much always have just a couple little wasps that get past the larger out there, the whatever you have out there as your first line of defense. So I like logistics falcors for things which use a fairly small amount of coal. The good news is I don't have to, what am I doing here? I need infused coal. Talking about logistics but needing to type infused, it doesn't work. Alright, no, okay, we're good. Infused coal. I don't think I have any feeding yet. I'll have to go do that in a second. And then we'll have a PTG. Wait, the PTG is going to need a battery to fill up. Probably one more battery. And then I'm gonna want 2 guns, 3 guns, 3 guns, and then I'm also going to want a falcor beacon for my drops for the falcor network I'll be setting up soon. There we go. There is a line of guns. It's very simple. It'll start gathering once it starts getting some power in there. They'll perk up and be a great defense. Let me go add some falcor beacons over here and talk about how this works. So I'm just gonna stick it here. Yeah, it does not require power. For logistics, when it's on a storage hopper, it does not require power. So I put these on top of my storage containers for infused coal. I tend to go around and just stick them on storage containers that contain infused coal anyway. I don't really need to create special storage containers for that because I got plenty of things holding coal. The beacon will hold the coal, and then the logistics falcor will come over and grab the coal. There it goes, grabbing another one. That puts coal into the little storage hopper, which the PTG burns it and starts filling up this bank of batteries. So I definitely prefer to use the Mark III batteries because when an attack happens, these guns are really going to be shooting a lot. And one PTG is good to store up in advance of an attack, but it is not good for keeping up with how fast the attacks are. And I could actually put another PTG under the storage hopper, but let me wait and see how this does if I decide to do that. And then the final element here is that falcor beacon, which for now it's going to grab a bug part and sit there, but later I'll be setting up a network of normal Mark I falcors to gather up the bug parts, and when I do that, that'll be kind of my feeder. So I can just go around and finish up this. This was, for once, usually I make a plan for an episode and I realize that I'm never going to fit that into one episode. I think I just did the opposite. I finished up the point of the episode in about 5 minutes. So let's see what else I should be doing here. 1, 2, where that goes. We got that. Let me configure the logistics falcor before I forget. And this will go grab some coal. Once I get a number of these gun batteries up here, I might have to actually specify a couple more places to pick up the infused coal. They kind of monopolize a bit because during the time frame while this falcor is flying over there, nobody else is going to fly over to that beacon. And once I start having gun batteries way off in the distance, sometimes it can be quite a trip. So you do need a fair number of supply. So falcor beacons on top of infused coal hoppers to keep up. Let's not sit there going through that, but yeah, I'm very pleased with all this. I guess I should show you what I've done, but I can't quite remember what I've done. But no, I did close off the room I finished, or almost finished, and I closed off the room for the refineries. And then right after I finished closing off this room, Stanisco? I should have written down his name. He mentioned on YouTube in the comments that these can be stacked, so you end up only needing a couple of them. So I need to experiment with that probably next episode and be redoing my room, so it'd be a smaller room but taller probably. So we'll see. I got a number of things really flowing here. I'm starting to actually get back up on the alloyed machine blocks, which is great. One thing I've noticed, and the reason I'm working on those new hats with the smelters though, is I'm actually taking away the nickel ore fast enough that sometimes it empties out. Like the smelter can't keep up with my mine carts, which is kind of great news. Kind of not great news. So I'll be working on upgrading those hats right now. Apparently we're waiting on copper wire. Why are we always waiting on copper wire? I got 3. Let's add 2 more, and hopefully there'll be new ones. And let me go make sure that I'm getting copper wire made. I feel like I'm low on... Oh, only 1? No. Let's do 4. How's this doing? This is keeping 85 free slots, but it's pretty full. That only needs 1 because I'm not using much gold bars anyway. Yeah, we'll just do 4 for each of these. These are all working on lightweight machine housing. Okay, there you go. I have 100 scrap freight carts set aside here in case I need them. I don't want to be making more in an emergency. But the rest I've been destroying. Okay. I have my 2 items that I wanted to take a look at. The first was minecart track crafter. I also want to go stick down the freight cart monitor. So the freight cart monitor can be anywhere on the freight cart system. Probably somewhere I just passed by recently. How about, or frequently. Let's stick it here. There we go. And this is quite nice. I kind of can't believe I didn't have one before. So I have 302 freight carts, and the amazing thing is I've pulled out over 100 of those scrap freight carts. Alright, I hit E, and it's going to show me my different networks. So this is my bars network. It kind of, it shows surplus and deficit. So I got 500 tin bars being requested, and I have 100 tin bars in a hopper ready to go, and only 25 in transit. That's kind of crazy. They must all be using the old freight carts, and etc. for each of them. Next network is fuel. I have a big old surplus of high energy composite fuel because nothing's using it. And I also have surplus and deficit on infused coal and a huge inventory. I wonder what that's... Oh, that must be all the ones... Yeah, okay, I get it. I just have so many different storage hoppers that are requesting 100 infused coal, and most of them are most of the way full. And then all the different components in my network that I'm requesting. I have 27 alloyed machine blocks and a deficit of 100. So an inventory of 27. Those are probably sitting over there waiting for someone to pick them up. I wonder if I am... No matter how much I try to take out those scrap freight carts, I can't seem to get them pulled out. So I'm going to do 2 carts, grabbing the alloyed machine blocks and dropping them off. And then I have the minecart track crafter. I dislike that I have to attack some... So 1 alloyed machine block and 25 scrap track straight. I'm torn on whether that's a good thing. It depends on how many it's going to put out. Let me just do this by hand. Since I only have so much scrap track, it's gonna, when it runs out, it runs out, I think. I don't think there's any reason I would make more scrap track in order to upgrade it. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. And put that in there. Does this require power? Cannot locate 25 scrap track straight. Remove only. What do you mean you can't locate? It's right there. Add only. Maybe it needs power? I don't think so. It doesn't say anything about power. It's right here, dude. Okay. Scrap track straight. Still can't locate 25 scrap track straight. Well, apparently I just can't. I am not smart enough for this machine. I don't even know. Now it can't locate 1 alloyed machine block. And now it's back to can't locate the scrap track straight. I don't know about this. I'll look it up. Maybe it's bugged. Okay. Well, I mean, that's really it. I guess we'll call this a nice short episode. I have my gun batteries set up. Well, 2 of them. I'm going to go around and do a number more. I'll do some in each of these back corners, but then I'll just go out a bit and do another ring, and then go out even more and do a 3rd ring. And sometimes I even go out to like 4th or 5th. Probably I'll go out to 4th or 5th. I'm only putting 3 guns up there. And that's pretty nice. The rest of my defenses is I'll put a couple of Mark III guns right on the CPH, just in case anything gets through. And then I'll put missiles up in another, again, like kind of concentric rings going out. I'll need those near the freight cart system though. And I should not say concentric rings. I don't necessarily need that. I'll do a whole episode on the missiles because it's a whole thing. I'm gonna have to knock down a lot of mountains. And then those are my defenses. Oh, plus spider butt. Spider butt. Spider bot. I apparently call it spider butt now. I'll get spider bot set up. That will be fun. Thank you for watching. Now go do something epic.